In this video, we're gonna focus on the absolute value that contains inequalities. In the equation, absolute value of 4x negative 3 greater than or equal to 5 have two possible answers, which is positive or negative. In positive equation, we have to use the signs inequalities, and the other sides of the equation, which is negative, is we can change the directions of the sign. Instead of greater than or equal to, so we have less than or equal, because we can change the directions of the sign. And then in equation of positive, which is we can add the positive 3 in each side, so cancel out 3, the remaining is 4x, and then we divide each side by 4. Therefore the value of x is greater than or equal to 2. And then in positive equation, a negative equation, we have to add both side by positive 3, and then cancel out 3, the remaining is 4x. Then 5 minus 3 is equal to 2, which we can have negative because the larger value is negative, so we have 2. And then the value of x, which is less than or equal to negative 2/4 or 1/2. Then let's check and then interval notation here. First, we can draw the number line, and we can locate the directions of the value of x. So we have negative 1/2 and positive 2. Remember that in the positive sides, which is on the right side, is positive infinity, and the other side, which is in the left side, is negative infinity. Since 2 is greater than or equal to, we can locate the number here, or the point, the direction here. So we have 2 going to the right, and in the equation x less than or equal to negative 1/2, the direction is going to the left, since left is less than or equal to negative 1/2. So this is closed interval, since negative 1/2 is including in the solution set. So the answer is the solution set in interval notation is this side is negative infinity, remember. So we have negative infinity, open interval, and negative 1/2. We can use negative 1/2 and close interval, since negative 1/2 is including in the solution set, and it is union with the, remember to put the unions here, union of 2, which is closed interval, since 2 is including in the solution set, and positive infinity, which is open interval. Remember the directions. So this is our solution, and this is our answer. Then let's have another example. In the equation, absolute value of x negative 1 less than 9. So remember that we can have two possible answers. We have x negative 1 less than 9, or x negative 1. We can change the directions, which is greater than 9, negative 9. Remember that when we use negative signs or the negative sign, remember to change the directions of the inequalities. So we have to solve. So the value of x here is x is less than 10. And here we have to add both sides by positive 1, cancel out positive and negative 1. So the remaining x is equal to negative 9 minus positive 1 is negative 8. Therefore, x is greater than or greater than negative 8. And then we can locate the directions here in the interval notation. So this is positive infinity and this is negative infinity. And we can locate which is 10. We can put here in positive side, so we have positive 10 and negative 8 in the negative infinity side, this one here. You can see here that the value of x is greater than negative 8, so this is an open interval, so we have negative 8 going the direction to the right and it touched to the directions in x is equal to 10, positive 10. I'm going up here, and in the other equation we can have 10 is less than, so the direction is going to the left, so they touch each other. Therefore, the solution set in equation in between, it makes the solution is less than 9, which in between negative 8 and 10. So the solution set here is negative 8 and 10. We can use the open interval since negative 8 and 10 is not included in the solution but in between negative 8 and 10. And then let's have another example. The absolute value of x, positive 3, greater than 30. So we can solve its equation, the positive, which is x, positive 3, greater than 30, or x, positive 3, can change the direction in less than negative 30. So we have to add both sides by negative 3, and the remaining is x is equal to greater than, which is x greater than 27. And in negative side we have to add both sides by negative 3, cancel out this, x is less than negative 33. Then let's see in the interval notation in the number line here. So we can locate the value of x, which is greater than 27 here. So we have positive, we can locate in this positive infinity here, and then the other side is negative 33, which locate in the negative infinity. Then remember the sign that it is less than, so we have the direction going to the left, and in 27, which is greater than, so the direction going to the right. So in interval notation it is an open interval since the solution set is in between negative infinity and negative 33, and in the other side, which is in between the positive 27 and positive infinity. So the solution set is negative infinity and negative 30. Union 33, union with 27 and positive infinity. Let's say an equation which is the absolute value of 2x negative 1 greater than 4. So we have 2x negative 1 greater than 4, or 2x negative 1 less than negative 4. Remember to change the directions of the inequalities. So we have to solve each equation. So we have cancel out, then 2x, 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. So 2x greater than 5. Then we divide each side by 2. Cancel out, x is greater than 5 over 2. And then in the other equation, so we have to add both sides by positive 1. Then to cancel out this one. So I have 2x less than negative 4 plus 3 is equal to negative 3. Therefore 2x, we divide each side by 2, so x is less than negative 3 halves. And then we locate in the directions in the interval notation, so we can draw the number line here. In this negative infinity and this side is positive infinity. So when we locate this, x is greater than 5 halves and the other side x less than negative 3 halves. So in this interval, so we can point the directions, so we can draw the directions, which is x is greater than 5 over 2. So we have to draw the direction. It is an open interval going to the right, and in negative, which is less than, it is an open interval also going to the left here. So in these solutions, the number that makes the solution is in between negative infinity and negative 3 halves, and which is union to positive 5 over 2 and positive infinity. So the solution set is negative infinity and negative 3 half union of 5 over 2 positive infinity. So this is the solution. This is the answer. Let's say in equation we have the absolute value of x positive 3 greater than or equal to 5. So we have to solve its equation by positive or negative. So we have x positive 3 greater than or equal to 5, or x positive 3, which we can change the directions, which is less than or equal to negative 5. So to solve this one, we can add both sides by negative 3, cancel out. And x is 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. Therefore, x is greater than or equal to 2. And on the other side, x positive 3, we have x is less than or equal to negative 8. So in the number line here, in the interval notation, we can locate the number which is the value of x is 2, which is in positive infinity. Here is negative infinity, which is the value of x is less than negative 8. So we can locate. So here is greater than or equal to, we can have the closed interval. Here we can use the sign closed interval going to the directions to the right, and 2 is including in the solution set that makes the equation, and negative 8, which is a closed interval also. This one, the directions is going to the left. So in interval notation, the solution set is, we have open interval negative infinity and negative 8, closed interval union with closed interval 2 and positive infinity open interval. We can see that here is the answer. Let's have another example. Here we have the absolute value of 2x negative 9 less than 7. So in the positive equation, we have 2x negative 9 less than 7, or 2x negative 9 greater than negative 7. So we have to solve this by adding positive 9 to each side. Cancel out 2x. 7 plus 9 is equal to 16. So we divide each side by 2. Cancel out 2x is equal to or less than, x is less than 8. And in positive equation and negative equation, we have to add both sides by positive 9. So 2x greater than negative 7 plus 9, which is 2. Then divide both sides by 2. Therefore, the value of x greater than 1. Interval notation, we can draw the number line. So we have here direction, which is in the left side is negative infinity and the right side is positive infinity. Since all is both positive, so we have positive 1. In the directions, which is x is less than 8, so we can have the direction going to the left. So we have 8. So a here 1 and 8. So 8 is less than, so we can draw the direction going to the left. So we have 8 going to the negative infinity, and it touch in the number line in x is equal to 1 going to the right. So we have the solution set is in between 1 and 8. It makes the solution. So in solution set, our answer is 1 and 8. It is open interval since 1 and 8 is not including in the solution. But in between 1 and 8, it makes the solution. And then let's have another example, which is the absolute value of 2x negative 5 greater than or equal to 1. So we have to solve each equation. So we have 2x negative 5 greater than or equal to 1, or 2x negative 5 which is less than or equal to negative 1. Remember to change the directions of the sign when we use in positive or in negative. So we have 2x greater than or equal to 6. Divide both sides by 2. Then x is equal to or greater than 3. The equation, we have to add both sides by positive 5, cancel out, then 2x less than or greater than positive 4. Divide each side by 2, cancel out 2, therefore the value of x less than or equal to 2. And then in number line here, we can draw the number line in interval notation. So we can locate the value of x. So we have 3 and 2. So we have 3 and 2. Remember that all is positive. And we can put here the directions, which is x is less than, so going to the left, or equal to, and 2 is including in the solution set, which is we can use the closed interval, and 3 is greater than or equal to, which the direction going to the right, and 3 is including in the solution set. This is negative infinity and here is positive infinity. So in interval notation, the solution set is negative infinity, which is close open interval, and 2, which is closed interval, union with closed interval 3 and positive infinity, which is open interval, since 2 and 3 is including in the solution set.